Y'all understand what we are doing, brother?
Since you don't got any questions.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28.
God hate evil. Why God hate a certain race?
How was y'all blessed? Hey man, we out here for our people, man. We on the battle axes of the Most High.
We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for.
Yeah,
That's what they taught us.
that's what the church tried to put.
That's what the church tried to put us. I was a dang pastor.
So it's a business.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
told
It's
him pastor,
business,
you
know
couldn't
what I'm
tell me
saying?
that.
So why you stop preaching then?
I stopped preaching, man, because I was the head of the outreach ministry, man. I was bringing people in, trying to get them filled, sanctified, and all that. Found out, you know, one lady I brought in, she was from the Caribbean Islands, Guam or whatever. She was running away from her husband from Atlanta or whatever. He was a doctor, but he was beating on her. So I brought her and her son in the family, ended up sleeping with her.
Just like that.
And look, you know, you know, with you know, all good things come understanding. So, you know, I understand he a man, he gonna face temptation, you know what I'm saying? But when I came to him about it, the response I got was, it was no remorse. It was like, oh well, what,
Like that was supposed to happen.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean. You know, that was my shepherd. I mean, you know, you don't go looking to man, but you know, that's the man I was hearing God do, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't able to hear him no more. Every time I go to church, I look at him and the only thing I can hear is freak. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
That's right.
It's different. A lot of other people, they go to different places. They want to go to these mosques and all that.
That's the scripture, man. I got you. Read that right.
The book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
Guess what? Most High said destruction to them, man, because they gonna pay for that, man, because they supposed to be teaching us God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That'll end black on black crime overnight, man, if we keep one commandment. Love thy brother as you love yourself, bro. Read on, huh?
Saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, God of Israel.
Of who?
God of Israel.
God of everybody.
Of Israel.
This Bible is to the Israelites, for the Israelites, by the Israelites. God is not the God of everybody like how we've been taught. Give me that in Amos 3 and 1. Read on now.
Against the pastors.
Against the who?
The pastors.
T.D. Snakes, Ricky Gay Rush, all them, because they ain't teaching our people who
That's
we
what
are.
my daddy
Read
talked
on now.
about.
That feed my people.
They just do so much.
Ye have scattered my flock and driven. Ye have scattered my flock.
They scattered us by teaching us all different type of philosophies, 7-day adventures, 7-day wickedness, Christianity. You won't find those terms in the Bible. Read on out.
And driven them away.
And did what?
Driven them away.
That's what you see, man. It'll driven you away, man. By that non-understanding. Read on out.
And have not visited them.
And had not what?
Visited them.
Read on out.
Behold, I will visit upon you.
He will do what?
I will visit upon you.
Most High gonna visit them, man. Don't think that that's gonna happen in vain. Read on out.
The evil of your doing.
Because that's what they doing. They teaching our people evil, man. They not teaching our people who they are and what their purpose is in life.
That's right.
Saith the Lord.
Read this right quick, because is God the God of everybody? Like how we've been taught. What you think?
I mean, from what I was told, and from my understanding, what I was told,
I always said God is
he died for the world.
Yeah. But what is that word? That's right. What word? Give me Isaiah.
It's just for the Israelites.
That's right.
But some of the Israelites strayed away.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, man, you got to go back to your roots, man. I mean, basically, I believe that we're Israelites. I always believed this since I was young. All this kind of, you're this and now, man. I already knew where I was.
Hey, this is our history.
I already knew it.
The Bible is more than just what they make it to be. This is historical reference.
Right.
This is like looking at our photo album of who we are. Read this right quick, huh?
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Throughout the Bible, it's only talking to the Israelites. Read on now.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Because guess what? It was a mixed multitude that came up out of the land of Egypt with us. But Christ, the Most High, was always addressing a specific people. Read on now.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known, of all the families of the earth.
No, God knows everybody.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Read on, now.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Black on black crime.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Staying in the ghettos and in the slums.
Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Baby mama, baby daddy.
Therefore I will punish you for all your
Because
iniquity.
these are some of the things that happen to us and no other race of people. Read this right quick.
The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel,
This is your scripture right here. Listen to this, brother.
but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
So who did the Bible say the world is? Israel. Just like we have the basketball world, we have the sea world. God is talking to a specific world. See, Christians love to take this out of context. So when you go to John 3:16, they automatically think that it's talking about the whole world. The world, let's read that. The world has 7 different definitions. One definition can be a group of people with common aims and goals. Israel is that world that the Most High is talking to. Because, read that out.
Let's go to John 3 and 1 though. We'll get some, see, that's what pastors don't do. They don't get context of what we're talking about. Right. So you just get that one scripture, then they stop. Right. But you got to see who this is, who this is addressing. Who is it talking to? Who is talking and who is it talking to?
Read that out.
Name of John 3 and 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews.
A ruler of who?
A ruler of the Jews.
Now, the Jews was in captivity under the Romans. Who are the Romans? So-called who? No. White folks. So they was in captivity just like how we today. Up under them, that's their forefather. Read on now.
The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God.
Come from who?
Come from God.
So the context is Christ talking amongst the Jews. Now let's go to 3 and verse 14.
That's right. Verse 14, John chapter 3. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness.
And as Moses did what?
Lifted up the serpent in the wilderness.
Now who was Moses lifting up the serpent to in the wilderness? Who did Moses bring out of Egypt? The Israelites.
So my people go.
John is pulling this from the Old Testament. Read this out.
The book of Numbers, chapter 21 and verse 7. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpent.
So what?
The serpent.
Because when the Most High judges us, guess what? He uses animals, he uses people. This time he was using poisonous snakes because they was breaking God's commandments. That's what sin is. Sin is the breaking of God's commandments. Read on now.
From us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole.
So this is what that pole we was reading in John, way in the New Testament, that he raised up the staff to. Read on out.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live.
Shall what?
Shall live.
Of the Israelites. Read on out.
And Moses made a serpent of brass.
Made a what?
Serpent of brass.
That's where they get that thing from the hospital. That what you call that? That's where they get this from. Read on out.
And put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
Because that staff, it signifies healing. When they looked upon it, they was healed. The venom was taken out. Now let's go back. Read this out.
Verse 16 of John 3. For God,
read verse 14.
Verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness.
To who?
As Moses lifted up the serpent.
To who? The Israelites. Read on out.
In the wilderness. Even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
To who? Say it. No, you had it right. Even must the Son of Man. Who is the Son of Man?
The Israelites.
Christ.
Christ.
Even must the Son of Man, which is Christ, be lifted up to who?
To the Israelites.
To the Israelites. So that is not talking about everybody. Read on up.
Verse 15. That whosoever believeth in him.
That who?
That whosoever believeth in him.
You know what I want? Acts 2:21. I'll praise God. Read on
That
up.
whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
So who is the whosoever in that context? The who?
Whosoever of the
Israelites. That's the context. That's the correct understanding. Read on up.
Now it's 16. For God so loved the world.
The world of who?
I'm ready.
The Israelites, brother. That's the correct understanding. Because pastor, the white man, they taught us this. So when they shooting us down in the streets, look, we'll have love and compassion for them. Love your enemy, but that's not even what this talking about. We don't know.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish.
So they read that whosoever, close the Bible. But no, when we get the correct context, that whosoever is talking about the children of Israel.
Right.
Read this right quick, guys.
The book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 21.
This is how you read the Bible. You don't read the Bible like a novel. To get the full understanding, you go precept upon precept. That's why you see me pulling this chapter to explain that chapter.
That's right.
Read this.
The book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Close the book. But we gonna read on down. Read on up.
Ye men of Israel.
No, everybody in the world.
Ye men of Israel.
Ye men of Israel. Read on up.
Hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know.
Now I got a question for y'all. How do you know we the Israelites? The Bible lets us know how we know we the Israelites. It's particular curses that God put on us for breaking his commandments. God said whoever those curses apply to, that's my chosen people. Because how did our forefathers come to America? How did we get to America? Slave ship. Did you know this in the Bible, brother? Let's get it for the brother, man. I know it's a shock, man. It's a shock, brother. Let's start at verse 15.
Chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
This was a future prophecy that Moses was giving the children of Israel. If y'all kept my commandments, y'all will be the top race on the planet. But if y'all break my commandments, what?
Y'all will be cursed.
We'd be cursed. We will be below everybody. Look around. Ain't we below everybody? We on the bottom of the food chain, but how is it that we the smartest, the strongest, the fastest, the best dressed, the best cooks, the best singers, but we on the bottom?
Right.
So I'm not right. Read on up.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
We will not listen unto the voice of the Lord thy God. God's voice is the Bible. Read on up.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Now, how many commandments are there, brother? How many have we been taught?
Go to the book of Leviticus, it's more than
That's right, brother. That's right.
you gotta go to the book of Leviticus.
It's all, brother, it's over 613 commandments. This is a commandment. God gave us a dress code.
We only taught 10.
We're going to get that for you. Read on now.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
No, some of them.
All his commandments.
Pastor Pork Chop said they done away with.
All his
You
commandments.
see why they teach God's laws is done away with? Read on now.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
That all these what?
All these curses.
Is a curse a good or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. God said, for breaking my commandments, I'm going to make bad things happen to the children of Israel. Read on now.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now we finna read some of these curses. Let's see who they apply to. Read verse 16.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Read that again now.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
What's some of the bad things that happen to our people that happen to only us? Getting shot down by the police, staying in the ghettos and in the slums, first fire, last hire, getting the worst water, eating the worst food, the worst education. Come on up.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
What is the cursed is? That's right, brother. The cotton fields, the tobacco fields, the sugar cane mine fields.
Everything they had us doing back then.
That's right,
That was a punishment that we were straight from away from God.
That's right. That's what it all goes back to.
God, you weren't supposed to do that no way.
Give me
That was your
32.
punishment.
Verse 32. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32.
Because 16 through 68 lists all the curses, all particular curses that only we went through. We gonna get you the slave ships, but read on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people,
Read on now.
and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
What is that talking about? I know you have, brother, because the Most High is waking us back up, man.
I ain't heard of nobody.
Straight away.
History book.
I heard.
I always said that was our history.
It resonates with you.
resonates,
I
you know
know,
what I'm saying?
because that's going into somebody take your son and your daughter and put them in slavery.
I don't know no other race than people.
No other race. Let's get the slave ship.
Like,
Exactly, brother. Let's get the slave ships for the brother. Let's get to the point. Go ahead,
Like you
They
had
already
said,
know what's
they
gonna
teaching
happen.
there that we Gentiles. So when you come
They
into
know.
this
They
book with
already
a
know.
Gentile state of mind,
That's right.
you're not going to want to do anything in it because you don't feel like it's really talking to you.
Or related
But
to
when
you.
you know that this book is
None don't
talking
move
to
unless
you
God move,
and
right?
you an Israelite, it changes the whole game, bro.
That's right. Read this. We're going to get you the slave ships.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, this
So
is
what
a
was
parable. We got to
Now,
get
when
the
you look at
understanding.
Egypt,
What was the children of Israel doing in the land of Egypt?
Came over and
That was what?
This
You
really
done seen it?
same
Slaves, bro.
modern day
It
slavery.
was black
This is back
Africans
being Egypt.
enslaving us. So black Negroes.
studied somewhere. You learned that.
Read on. So Egypt means something. Read this.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
So what did he call Egypt? What is another name for bondage? Slavery. So now we got the understanding right here. Let's go back. Read that out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships.
Transatlantic slave trade.
Slavery again with ships.
Packed on that boat 300 and 400 deep.
With ships.
With who?
With ships.
Who is the only race of people going to slavery on slave ships? Us, brother. What happened when we got off those slave ships over there? What was the first thing that they did to us? And what? Read it, bro.
Let's go to it. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Our homeland. If we the Israelites, what's our homeland?
Israel.
Israel, brother. But they taught us we was from where? Africa, brother. The Africans sold us to the white man. We're not African.
Because
That's why
they
we
didn't understand us. They was like, how is they this and we this? That's not fair. So what they did was, what they do became slave catchers, and
But-
they seen us and they seen
and also is letting you know that we're two different races.
That's right.
That's why
Exactly.
when we go to their bazaars, what we say? That's an
gotta
African
look at
right
it
there.
right.
We don't call them black. We don't say Negro. We're like, man, that's
woman
African. They know we not the same people. That's why they don't fool with us, man. Read on, huh?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What did this brother just say?
Sold unto your enemies.
Nigga sold to Master Williams Jan in West Virginia. What's your last name, brother? Jones.
No, that's a white man.
That's a white
Rodney.
man's name.
Whatever the last name we got, it ain't ours.
That come from the slave master that owned your forefathers that came
That's a
over.
name that was given.
Stamped them on your foremother or your forefather. That's Jones's property. Read on, now.
Still.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Who? What
Enemies.
did the Bible call them? Read it again, now.
Enemies. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Sold us. What race of people sold us?
A lot of people also, they think
Read it again. Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What did the Bible call them?
They call them movies, man. They say they was off.
All right. So why we befriending all these so-called white
that wasn't
folks?
never our
That's
fault.
good.
Why we always trying to say these white
Because-
folks?
Hold up.
Why God said,
Do they treat us like they are friends today?
when God was in the midst,
Think
and
about
now
it.
he
As a
said
nation of people, do they treat us like they are friends? No, they wouldn't be shooting us down in the street, brother. They wouldn't have us in the ghettos. They'll have us in Highland Park with them.
That ain't nothing.
You know, they'll have us going to the best school,
doing this.
eating the best food, having our own water. If they are friends, guess what? When they freed us from slavery, they would have took us back to our homeland.
What's your name?
We still over here in captivity to this day, brother. That's why when you read these curses, jump up to verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
These curses shall be upon God's chosen people, the Israelites, for a sign. What does a sign do, brother? I'm looking at this sign right here that lets me know what? That this is a part. So when you read these curses, they let you know what? Who God's chosen people is. Whoever going through these curses, that's who God's chosen people is. Read on, now.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a
To
wonder.
wonder why we're on the bottom of society. You ain't never want to know that?
I wonder why.
Like, damn, why we
people
struggling?
voting.
That's right, man.
Right.
It's because we break God's commandments, and He uses the other nations to punish us. It's just that simple. There's nothing deep about it, man. Once you get the understanding of the scripture.
And upon thy seed forever.
No, a little while.
Forever.
Verse 28.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Read that again, now.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read on, Doc.
And hunger.
Now, when you hungry, what grocery store do you go to? Who own Walmart?
Stepping in the world like this.
White folks. Read, jump up to the top of there and read it again. Out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Guess what? In hunger, we have to serve our enemies. All the other nations are against us. We're going to get that too in Psalms. Read on, Doc.
And in thirst. And in nakedness.
Thirst. If you don't pay your water bill, who owns the water company? Who do? That's right, brother. If we don't pay our water bill, yeah, we know some of them. We don't know who. Somebody.
Not no black.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because they wouldn't be poisoning our people up in Flint, Michigan. Read on, Doc.
And in want of all things.
Now, I love this last scripture because this is heavy, brother. You want a driver's license, who you got to go to? Who owns the driver's license? The DMV. Who owns the state? Brother, when you want a job, who you got to go to? When you want food, brother, who you got to go to? You want to open up a building, who? When you want education, who you got to go to? Religion, who you got to go to? These are curses that we are upon because we're not keeping God's commandments, bro. Read this right quick, because I'm going to identify. You said the Arabs. Guess what? They are enemies too. The Bible has all the people in the Bible. The white man changed all the names, so when we read it, we won't be able to relate to it. Read this,
Psalm 83 and 1. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
A tumult is an angry gathering. King David is speaking here. He's letting God know we got enemies. God has enemies, brother. Read on now.
And they that hate thee
and they that love thee.
And they that hate thee.
There's people out here that hate God, brother. Read on now.
Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel.
They have did what?
Taken crafty counsel.
Abortion clinics.
Crafty counsel.
Planned Parenthood.
Crafty counsel.
Because they put these things in our neighborhood. Why they don't put it in the so-called white man's neighborhood? Read on now.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Against who?
Thy people.
Read on now.
And consulted against thy hidden.
Because we are the hidden ones because they call us what? African American. They call us black. They call us Negro. They don't call us the Israelites.
Right.
A lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes, God's weapons of war. We won a lot of battles, but there's more in store. If you're gonna be a soldier, know what you're fighting for. We the battle axes.
Chapter 14, verse 2. Good morning, and the gates thereof languish.
He said the real Jews are in mourning, and the gates they ain't got no gates right now. We ain't got no protection.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
Now the so-called white man wrote this Bible.
They are black.
If the so-called white man wrote this Bible and steps on it, they would have took out that the real